That's what I'm talking about. You can't let nobody else talk. He's over there stumbling over a damn acronym.
Say cow and pussy testy, motherfucker.
And he was like, "Oh, they'll never be no good. They're like Kentucky or some shit like that."
I'm curious to see where Auburn's
Get prepared to do a lot of scrolling.
So it's way on down there, right?
They're way down.
Smacking off the puck.
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
All right, so welcome back to Smacking Off the Podcast. We just completed rivalry weekend, and we got some big games to talk about. I mean, the one that really blew me away was how easily Kentucky hung with Louisville.
I mean, they were actually wasn't doing anything in the first half, and in the second half, they had a kickoff return for the touchdown, and then they had an interception return for a touchdown. The next thing you know, they went deep and scored on it. And we was back in the game. Then it went back and forth. At the end, we got a big stop, and then we scored and got another big stop and got lucky and won the game. There's Mr. Madden. Shannon Madden. Oh, he was in, he was out. Almost like
I think he's teasing us, isn't he?
Yeah, he's teasing us.
He's upset that he don't have to suck a dick tonight, isn't he?
Oh man, he's probably upset that Kenny ain't here to take his tongue lashing of some sort. Anyway, you know.
Oh, I'm just going to say, Auburn people, they're pretty salty today, and they probably and I'm not going to make fun of it or anything. I probably would be too. I mean, it looked like they had that motherfucker. 4th and 31.
When Milroe had his head turned the wrong way and they snapped it and it rolled down the field a ways, I was like, "Oh, it's over. There's no way that Alabama's going to win this." Right? I was just shocked that Nick Saban team did that at crunch time. Right? And I said, "Man, how do you recover from this?" And then it was amazing to me beyond belief that on 4th and 30 they completed the touchdown. Right? I mean, how do you allow that if you're Auburn? You know.
True story.
And I'm just saying, right? Just one fucking Groucho Marx mistake after another for Alabama in the red zone, and you would have never believed that Alabama would have won that game. Auburn fans, they was showing cut shots of a black dude to stand on his phone talking smack and spit flying, right? Well, I wonder what he was talking 30 seconds later. You know what I'm saying?
You just don't see that happen very much where a team has to win a game in one play and just one play like inside the 10-yard line's tough.
Yeah.
But to be 4th and goal from the 31,
yeah,
and all you can do is score a touchdown or you're fucked.
It was unbelievable.
It just blew me away.
Is this all we're going to talk about tonight? Is this one particular game?
Probably.
Kentucky,
man.
Yeah, Kentucky had a very big win. Congratulations, Dr. Balls. But yeah, I don't know. I'm having issues trying to log on with my computer for some reason or another. It comes right on. I'm hearing everything, and then suddenly it says I have nothing connected. So it's weird. Anyway, we invited several Auburn fans on tonight, and Doug, where are they? Where are they at, Doug?
Gabriel says he has a family issue.
Mm-hmm.
And
Kenny's working a double.
Kenny's working a double. I don't know. I'm not going to say that.
Do you think that he's working a double because he has to pay off some bets?
That's what was on my mind.
It's possible.
That's exactly what was on my mind when you said that first that Gabe had family issues and that Kenny had to work a double. And I was saying, they both bet the farm, but now one's got family issues, the other one's working a double.
The family issues may be the fact that he has some Alabama fans in his family, and there's some issues there.
Good.
Yes. Somebody may have got shot last night. You know how that rolls. That was and the thing that I really loved about this particular game, this is the last Iron Bowl that we have to hear Gary Danielson. Is everybody, Doug? I know you're excited about that.
Gary Danielson's never bothered me.
He really hasn't bothered me either. But man, the Alabama fan base has just had it in for him for a while now.
You know what the odd thing about it is, though? If you listen to the opposing fans, they hate him too, and they're always saying that he's a homer for Alabama, and the Alabama people say the exact opposite. I listen to him. I just think he just tries to, to fill shit up with talk because that's what his job is.
Yeah, I've never taken in any kind of exception to anything he's ever done or said. So that is what it is. No big deal. No biggie.
Whether you love Gary Danielson or not, guys, this represents the end of an era where you could watch the game of the week on Rabbit Ears for free.
Is it? I mean, there's still going to be the ABC stuff, right?
There'll be some ABC stuff. So there's who knows how long it'll be till you have to pay for that, right?
Fox?
Well, I wasn't watching on Rabbit Ears, and I don't have cable, and I saw the whole game.
But maybe so, but still.
What did you find it on YouTube?
No, actually, it was blocked on YouTube.
Okay, where did you find it?
I got waves.
Okay.
I got waves and memes, baby. You know how we roll, Doug.
Well, typically the really big games, I've never been able to successfully. I mean, I could get a stream started, but it typically peters out like 10 times during the game, and I ain't playing that shit.
I'm going to send you a good one. I found a really good one for Android devices yesterday. It's like the best one I found yet.
Hell yeah.
I can use the Google Chrome. I actually use Google Chromecast everywhere now.
Now, I'm going to attempt to come back in on the computer. So just bring that one in too, and then I'll come in stereo.
Okay.
Down.
And then I'll kill this one. Technology.
Michigan.
Michigan, I guess they're for real. They finally beat a top 10 opponent, a top 5 opponent. If you want to get down to it.
Man, I got a feeling that they're not going to put up with Ryan Day's shit for very much longer.
What do you mean Ryan Day's shit? That's the only game that they've lost this year.
Yeah, but that's
who the hell else are you going to get that's going to have that kind of. Anyway, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but I mean, I can't tell which one I'm hearing you from.
Hang on. Yeah, saying I don't have a microphone, and I do. Everything's all plugged in.
Oh, you might have accidentally when you came in, you might have accidentally selected the wrong thing or something.
No, I didn't.
You have to go into settings and make sure that the right microphone is selected.
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to automatically pick it up.
But anyway, man, Ohio State is not going to tolerate that shit. I'm telling you, you got to beat Michigan. I mean, losing. They're going to let.
They're going to let I mean, that's the only game that he's lost. That's it. That's the only game he's lost all season long.
I mean, Bill Curry had an exceptional fucking record at Alabama, but he never beat Auburn, and it got him.
Yeah, but that's Alabama.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. The landscape has changed dramatically. And who else are you going to get who else are you going to get automatically who's just going to come right into that program and have the same success?
I'm not saying it's correct what they're doing, but I'm just telling you that they're not going to tolerate it very much longer. I was amazed that Michigan tolerated Harbaugh as long as they did with him on a losing streak to Ohio State as long as it was. That really shocked me. But Ohio State they're going to tolerate it a lot less.
Absolutely.
Check.
Congrats on the Kentucky win, Bob, from Jay Fields.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Jay. And what about the Mark Stoops rumors? I think I hear now that first that he was going to go to A&M, now that he's not going, and now that Elko is going. Which I predicted on the podcast.
I heard it. I believe I heard that Elko he didn't interview well. They didn't want him because he didn't interview well.
Hell, somebody put out a post article saying they hired him.
I don't know if that's the case or not. Who do we like to win the Heisman Trophy? Who deserves the Heisman Trophy this year, guys?
Well, we know it's not Caleb Williams. It's got to be Jaden Daniels.
Man, I have to go with. I hate it, but I have to go with Bo Nix.
Over Jaden Daniels.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I give Bo Nix the Maxwell Award, and I give Jaden Daniels the Heisman.
See, I think Jaden Daniels' problem is yesterday they're playing Texas A&M, and ain't nobody gives a fuck. Oregon plays Oregon State, a much higher profile game on Friday, and then they play a much higher profile game. Well, of course, LSU sitting at home next week, and you've got Oregon and Washington. If he looks good against Washington, even in a losing effort, I believe he's got it.
If he wins it, he probably does got it. And even in, like you said, if he looks great in a losing effort, I can see it. I mean, look at his touchdown to interception ratio. I think it's like 37-2.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are.
So
isn't that better?
How'd you pull it off, man?
I had to restart everything.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, technology.
Yep.
Can't blame. I don't blame this one on StreamYard. It might be my old ass mint that I have on here. I got to get you to come over and tweak for me.
Chime in on this Heisman thing, Madden.
I don't want Bo Nix to win.
I know you don't, but who do you think's going to win?
I mean, historically, it's usually the team that is either flirting with the playoffs.
Yep.
Which definitely leaves Jaden Daniels out of that conversation.
There was a time when the Heisman had nothing to do with national championship
games.
But since the late 90s, they shifted. I think that it was a conscious effort to shift more toward the championship caliber teams because that got a lot more eyes on the process.
Yeah.
And okay, so Nix or Jaden Daniels is
I'm thinking Bo Nix at the moment. They're curious to see how they're going to handle Washington. It's kind of looking like that's going to be definitely the game of the week next week. One of the games of the week.
Oh yeah,
man, this is going to be. And I've been pissing a lot of people off here in the last couple of days, especially the FSU fans. I still believe Alabama beats Georgia. There is no way that they're going to deny Alabama a top 4 position.
If Alabama beats Georgia.
Yes.
Again, Georgia is a much better team than the team that they faced yesterday.
No, absolutely. And you got to understand, I'm not predicting Alabama to beat Georgia. I'm just saying they've got one game left. If they beat Georgia, but there's people who think that Alabama could beat Georgia and end up at number 5.
I don't see that happening. I really don't.
I don't either. And the way that I view it is the committee has Alabama at 8. They knock off the number 1 team. They're going to jump them exactly 4 spots. They're going to.
What would blow my mind?
What's that?
If Texas loses to Oklahoma again in the championship game.
They don't play Oklahoma.
Oh, they don't.
They play Oklahoma State.
But Oklahoma State lost that put OU in.
Oklahoma State didn't lose though. They ended up beating BYU in the end.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay. I didn't catch the final on that because BYU was controlling that game.
Yes.
Jay Fields, he's our West Coast connection. Says if Bama wins, they are in. I agree, Jeff. Jay, I totally agree. I'm not saying that's right. It may not be right, and I don't think that. If I was picking right now, I'm picking Georgia to win by 10.
Yeah.
I'll think about it through the week, and my Alabama's going to come out of me at some point, and I'm probably going to start acting like Bama's got more of a chance than that. But I don't know. I don't know if Saban's best coaching job is going to get this done. But if they do, it's like Jay Phil said, they're going to be in because here's the thing. Here's what the committee can't do. The committee can't take back that they said Georgia's the top team in the country. And, if Bama if this was a 2-team thing, if this was like the BCS and Bama was at 8th, and they were trying to get to the point where they could play for the national championship, I would say there's no fucking way that can happen. It don't matter if they knock the number 1 team off; they're not jumping to number 2.
Yeah,
but to number 4, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, and I really honestly believe that that's where they'll land if they beat Georgia. If they beat Georgia.
If Washington loses,
but does that shut Georgia? Does that shut Georgia out of the playoffs, or does that set them back up for a rematch? I mean, I guess it depends on who else is there.
I think it would be very unpopular for. Hold up. Tim Bailey is suing the Big 12 over the obvious rigged officiating. No way. Is he really? Is he really, Jay?
He might.
Jay, do you want me to send you a link to get into the podcast?
Yeah, let's get Jay on. We haven't had Jay on in a while.
I'd like to hear this.
Yeah, that'd be good. And if he doesn't have a lawyer, we could probably hook him up.
And Tim is saying that all season long that because the big Texas and Oklahoma are leaving the Big 12 that they've been screwing them refereeing wise all year.
Which officiating has been worse, Big 12 or SEC this year?
SEC.
Man, SEC officiating has been raw this year.
It looks
dead ass wrong.
It don't look wrong. It looks rigged. It don't look wrong. It looks like a conscious effort to rig games and or to drum up drama.
And look, I am an Alabama fan, but that face mask at the beginning of the game where he damn near ripped the Auburn player's head off. That was indicative of pretty much what Alabama had quite a few things not swing their way as far as the officials go too, which they even said, Mr. Gary, the outgoing announcer, with the outgoing network there. That's so weird. It's just, I've kind of unfortunately gotten used to seeing big SEC games on CBS. It's kind of sad, sort of.
I still remember the day when Alabama played 11 a.m. kicks all the time on Jefferson
Pilot. Yeah, Jefferson Pilot. Channel 21. Yeah.
The SEC game of the
Channel
week.
21 here in Birmingham, anyway.
Yeah.
So this is this the most exciting finish to the season with the CFP ranking that you've ever seen? Because I've never seen a situation. It looks like we've got 6 teams vying for 3 spots.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anything like that. Now, sometimes people try to stir it up to be something like that, but this is legitimately 6 teams trying to get 3 spots.
And so who is your already locked in? That's probably Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan went well. No, because Michigan still has to beat Iowa, and they probably will. But I've seen stranger shit happen than that too.
Yeah, like yesterday.
I don't know. I mean, can you imagine if Iowa beats Michigan? What the fuck? That's going to probably help Florida State tremendously.
Iowa beats Michigan. OSU beats Texas. I mean,
Oregon beats Washington. That'd be huge. That'd be lots of confusion.
I think that could happen.
The FSU faithful are madder than fuck at me right now, especially over in Frenzy. They say that all they got to do is win out, and they are fucking in. And they don't know what else is going to happen, but FSU's in.
No, Leroy.
Well, and I think in most seasons they would be correct. But
yes.
I've never seen this many teams, and here's the problem. I mean, I think even Georgia with a loss to Bama still has a better resume than FSU.
And Georgia's had a pretty soft schedule this year. We've talked about that quite a bit.
But FSU, their best win is LSU right now.
Yeah.
And hey, don't get me wrong. Bama has a terrible resume right now too. But Bama plays number 1
I wouldn't say terrible.
I mean, it's not great. It's not enough to get into the top 4, but they got one thing that the other teams don't have. They have a date to play the number 1 team in the country.
Yes.
Yes. It's exciting and new, like the Love Boat.
Yeah.
The Love Boat. I haven't watched that in years.
I love that song. Do you know the words of that song?
The Love Boat.
Soon we'll be making another run.
Yeah, you
I need to look it up. I need to look that up.
Let's learn about some Bones Coffee, and we'll be right back, guys.
Let's do it.
Sound the alarms. Something monstrously merry is coming to town. Introducing Bones Coffee's newest batch. Inspired by the giddy ghouls of Disney Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Nice work, Bones Caddy. Rich premium coffee infused with frighteningly festive flavors. The Pumpkin King, Santa Jack, Frog's Breath, Rough Weather, and Mudslide Boogie. Can't make decisions by yourself? Order them all. Bones also makes a perfectly marvelous gift for everyone on your nice list.
And your naughty list.
Click the link to get these hauntingly holly jolly flavors delivered right to your door. And it's not just for holidays. Bones has coffee concoctions for all 365 days of the year. Bones Coffee and Disney Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's terrifyingly tasty. This year, Bones Coffee will be yours!
Hello, Kitty.
Man, she is so fucking hot. Is she not?
She's special. But just about special as Leroy Kitty.
Who?
Leroy Kitty. That's the critter just crawled into the picture for a moment all on his own.
Okay, so I don't know whether to cover this Tim Bailey thing or not. Jay Fields didn't catch my message on that, and I did send him a link. But, of course, he's not here. I'm trying to figure out, was he joking or is he dead serious that Tim Bailey is suing the Big 12 over the obvious rigged officiating in the Oklahoma State game?
Guys, we have some breaking news today that we haven't discussed at all.
And what's that?
Texas A&M has hired Mike Elko.
Oh, yeah.
It's happened?
Yeah, that's what
it is all over ESPN, Fox News, CBS Sports. Yes, we are confirming this right now that Mike Elko, the former Duke head coach, is headed to Texas A&M.
I predicted that a couple weeks ago.
You did. And his name is definitely circulated quite a bit. I think with their particular climate, that's probably about the best they were going to be able to do. And I say that because of, again, the toxic culture that the trustees at Texas A&M have, a problem that we've seen at Auburn, a problem that we've seen at Alabama in the past. The Mike Ears. Anybody want to talk about the Mike Ears? I don't.
I mean, really, truthfully, after Bryant, our trustees were out of control. The fact that they were able to hire Gene Stallings and he actually won a national championship was amazing.
It was.
Because shit was being run in the ground at that point. And for most of, really up to Saban, at that point, they had just got enough. And everybody threw in the towel and told Mal Moore, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Let's get this done. And when Saban come in,
then he went after who was it? Rich Rodriguez. And thankfully, Rich Rodriguez turned the job down, headed to Michigan, and is now leading the Jacksonville State game. What is it? Are they the Gamecocks?
Yes.
Yeah, they are the Gamecocks. The other Gamecocks. They're balling right now.
Balling.
But yeah, I'm not gonna.
That's a much less prestigious job than the head coach of Alabama.
I'm not hating on any Auburn people today, though, because that had to take it all out of them. It took it all out of me.
Auburn won that game. If you take that last play at the end of the very, very end of the fourth quarter with 30 seconds left, Auburn won that game. That is so sick for me to believe. And had us pushed in the corner on a 4th and 31 play.
I mean, I have to be completely honest. I put my hand over my eyes, and I noticed that the crowd didn't cheer. I noticed that, then I noticed
that game was in Auburn. Everybody,
I noticed that Cat was started jumping up and down almost immediately after that. But the first thing I noticed is the crowd didn't cheer. Well, and then the guy waited for a second before he said touchdown.
Yeah,
but,
and then
because again, it was in the very, very, very corner of the end zone. His foot went down. I think there was probably about 3 inches of green there. between the green and the white line there.
It was enough to see it. You definitely knew he caught it. And it just, I feel bad for the Auburn guy that was over
Isaiah
there.
Bond.
You see the Auburn guy looking at him. And, some people might look at that and say, oh, man, he was dumbfounded. He didn't know what to do. No, he could not do anything. He was as close as he could get, as quick as he could get. The ball was already in the guy's fucking hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's really nothing you can do. You can't cause a fumble in the end zone. If you cause a fumble in the end zone, that means it was a touchdown.
But the most my favorite part of that was the fact that during that broadcast, during that game, I can't tell you how many times the kick six was brought up, and the fact that it was the 10th anniversary of the kick six.
Yep.
And the kick six, if we all remember, was a play that happened in the very last seconds of the game. Alabama was starting to breathe a little easier as they kick that. As they kick that. I don't want to go into it further.
Hold on now. There's side stories to go with this. Saban fought for that last second. There was literally 1 second left on the clock on that one.
Yeah.
And Saban fought for that because they had run the clock out. And had Saban not been able to talk them into putting that second back on the clock, we were going into overtime.
Yeah.
And I think Bama had they had an average shot at winning in overtime, even in Jordan Hare.
Yeah.
But no, Saban fought his ass off to get that second back on the clock, and I was worried about it. You can ask Kat. I told her, I said, this is bad because I wasn't worried about a kick six. What I was worried about is that was a long field goal.
Yeah, nobody was expecting what the ultimate outcome was. But the important thing is that
no.
On the 10th. Oh, go ahead.
Let me finish real quick. That's a long field goal. I'm not worried about missing a field goal. Fuck that. We'll just go into overtime. But when you have to kick a long field goal, you got to kick low.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to get that kind of distance. And you know what happens to low kicks sometimes? They get blocked.
Yes.
And I was like, this team has pulled miracle after miracle out of their ass in this fucking stadium, and we're fixing to give them a shot to do another one. And I'll be damned if it fucking happened.
Yeah, it was a miracle. And on the 10th anniversary of that miracle, Alabama came with their own miracle.
Absolutely.
And another great thing for me, just real quick, Dr. Balls. One of the most amazing things to me was look at the very beginning of the season and the conversation about Jalen Milroe. And who was there at the very last play of regular season to cement our chance to hopefully maybe still play for the playoffs. And that was Jalen Milroe.
Oh, Milroe is I've never seen an Alabama quarterback improve that much over the course of a season.
Yeah. It was great. I loved it.
So let me ask you, 15 seconds before Alabama won the game, when the guy hiked the ball to Milroe and Milroe wasn't paying any attention and then it rolled down the field, where were your emotions at then? Because I thought
my emotions were we are doing everything we can to make sure we don't even get a shot.
I had assumed that we had pretty much lost the game at that point when we were throwing a Hail Mary at 4th and 31 in the last 30 seconds of the game. Yeah, this is it. This is all of this build up for nothing. You know what? The first thought that went through my head. Great. Alabama's going to be the number 1 in the life championship this week. But that's exactly as I watched that ball roll down there and Jalen scramble to try to jump on top of it. It's like, yep, there's your life champion right there. Right motherfucking there.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so there was other games this week. I didn't pay attention to a lot of them. I know that Florida State got behind in Gainesville, had to come back and beat the Gators.
Bayou Billy.
Anybody pay any attention to that?
A little bit. Yeah, it kind of worked out the way that I thought it was going to work out. That's kind of been indicative of Florida's season all year long.
Georgia kind of went through the motions. Georgia Tech made it look a little more interesting on the scoreboard toward the end, but it was.
But are you really believing that? And that's one thing that I really was kind of a little surprised by because there was a lot of flat performances by your better teams this week, yesterday.
Well, anytime you've got, and I was telling Nikki this yesterday, anytime that you have a team that can right a whole season of wrong with one fucking win, they're going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that was the case with Auburn and Alabama. That was the case with Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has looked better this year, but they could still have made their whole season by knocking off the number one team in the country.
Oh, yeah.
Who else? Washington State was a tight game.
24-21. Yeah, that was a lot tighter than a lot of people would have expected that, especially with the way Washington's been balling this year.
I really expected Oregon and Oregon State to be tied on Friday, but Oregon whooped that ass.
Yeah. Bo Nix, that's really kind of cemented his. I'll be rather surprised if he doesn't win the Heisman due to that performance. That was kind of a good exclamation point on his season.
Did Colorado finish their season yesterday?
Their season's done.
Let's see. Colorado
not going bowling this year. That's unfortunate.
Hold on.
So that makes it the Butch Jones winner.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. But at the same time, Colorado still did way better than anybody expected that they would do this season.
And that's really what bothered me about how much hype they got earlier. I was like, this is going to make anything they do seem poor.
Hey, I was over here hyping him up too. Because that TCU performance, I just was like, again, a lot of us expected TCU was going to be a little bit better this year.
So you know what happened with that is that TCU wasn't that good. TCU lost a lot of players.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
And so they had that name of the team that had played in the national championship the year before, but that's really the extent of what TCU was about this year. Let's see, they lost to Utah yesterday. They played Utah competitive at Utah. Now they did not play Washington State competitive last week. They got their ass beat in Pullman.
Damn it, Jim.
Liberty finished the season 12-0.
You know what? Here it is. Bama does beat Georgia, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Liberty sneaks in from number 20 to number 4 on the last bowl.
I'd love to see Liberty in a New Year's Six bowl. You think they'll get there?
I do. Don't so many teams get a chance at that?
Didn't Coastal
like
get a chance a couple years? Coastal Carolina get a chance a couple years ago.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned that because this is the coach. The coach for Coastal Carolina that got them there is the coach for Liberty at the moment.
Yes,
who is going to be at the top of a lot of coaching lists next year. He may be on a few this year. Who knows?
He's a smart guy because he took over a program.
I know Duke's looking for a coach this morning.
Oh, yeah. He took over a program that had been built decently by Hugh Freeze, so he already had guys and stuff, and he could obviously coach. He proved that at Coastal Carolina, so he walked into a perfect situation if he's going to do 1AA.
I always get nervous when teams like Duke need a coach because Alabama's always got people sitting there on the staff that's, looking to become a head coach, and we have a lot of turnover anyway. All right, so we'll be back here in a minute.
Clemson won.
Oh,
they did.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a minute.
Hey there, darling, let me count on you. The road is long and I'm scared what I might find. Won't you tuck me in and out? Tell me everything's gonna be alright, sweet child. Sweet child. Up in the morning, out that door. Who knows what the world has in store for me? I'll be safe with you by my side. Ain't nothing out there can't take in stride. I know you hold me up. You hold me up. So I can fly. creeps on in, and I start to wonder what could have been. I'm just gonna close my eyes so tight, take your hand and keep me to the morning light, to the morning light. And ain't it bright? You hold me up, you hold me up, you hold me up, so I can fly.
I'm not in love with the Amazon song. How about you guys?
Yeah.
No, I'm surprised that we're running ads for Amazon. Are we hooked up with Amazon? Can we get some free stuff from Amazon?
I don't know.
I ain't got no Bones copy yet.
Jay Fields was in here a second ago, but now he's gone.
Goodness.
He probably saw that commercial and left.
It was everything you could take.
Yeah. Let's see what else. What else we got? What other games we got? Tennessee beat Vanderbilt. Anybody care about that?
Yay.
I did. Kansas State. They dropped one to Iowa State yesterday.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Then you had Oklahoma State won against BYU, and I thought they had lost. I was turning back and forth.
I was convinced of it. Double overtime. That's why. Because I think really about third quarter, I just kind of gave up on that game because BYU was whooping that ass.
Yeah.
So Gundy turns it around.
That's a great man.
What else we got? We talked about the big games already.
Jay Fields said that StreamYard keeps booting him.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, keep my
so this is going to be interesting if Tim Bailey really is suing the Big 12. I haven't looked at the game that he's talking about. I could definitely see the Big 12 trying to fuck Oklahoma and Texas really in this final year. Didn't really work because Texas is in.
I don't know why though, because again, a Texas team which is still in the playoff hunt definitely would bring them a fair amount of money on the way out, right?
Yeah, but they're still not happy with him.
I mean, they don't have to be happy with him. Things like that work out like that sometimes. Oh well.
I don't know. I mean,
relationships don't work out. You just got to move on. Don't be the stalker.
It definitely wouldn't shock me if Oklahoma and Texas were fucked with by officiating.
Yeah.
Because they've been in this conference since the beginning, and here they go. They're out.
No, that'd be bigger than Spygate.
Yeah. Well, if Jay Fields is serious and he didn't put a laughing emoji or anything, Tim Bailey is suing them.
What grounds would you have legally, though?
I don't know. I'd have to talk to Tim and see what he's. I mean, surely he has an attorney. Surely he's not acting as the attorney here.
No, you got to have somebody with a law degree for that sort of thing.
And I mean, Tim could probably pull the people together just within the Oklahoma alumni.
I used to do Alex Shenar's plumbing work.
Nice.
Alex Shenar would be all over the case like this.
Is he just he's just Alabama, isn't he?
No, he's like all over the Southeast, and something like this that would propel him in the national spotlight. Don't think for a second that Alex Shenar wouldn't take this case. I'm gonna call him. I'm calling him after this.
Just so we would mention him more on Smacking Off the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. I want him as a sponsor. He's got money. He's got real money.
Real money.
I mean, I'm not saying Bones Copy don't have some money, but they don't have Alex Shenar money.
I'm not digging that Amazon commercial. It's too long, and that song it sucks.
It's just like Cat Stevens without the steroids, though,
And without Cat Stevens.
I like Cat Stevens.
Exactly.
I do too.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would actually listen to that. I'd be
I don't know.
that.
I don't know what you'd call it. It sounds a little bit more.
Oh,
like
no. Yusuf in Islam, isn't that his new name now?
Yeah, Yusuf.
That's his terrorist name. Yes.
But I'm saying the guy was trying to be Cat Stevens.
Terrorist watch listener.
He is not even Yusuf Islam.
So who is he now?
No, I'm talking about the dude in the commercial wanted to be as Cat Stevens, but he didn't get it done.
Hey, he sounded more to me like the late '90s kind of stuff. The late '90s singer-songwriter named somebody.
Like Jack Johnson or
yes,
somebody like that. Yeah, that's like, and you know, I've noticed this trend on the commercials where you have the little folky guitar, this very well in tuned, and the microphone's placed just right. So I mean, it just almost sounds like instead of an instrument, it's more of a feeling. And then you have the typically white person over top of it, over top of it, just really just soft. And you're sipping your cup of coffee, and you've got your sweater, the turtleneck sweater, but it's kind of loose. It's not tight, and you got a blanket over, and just everything's just warm and fuzzy. I've noticed that in a lot of advertising, particularly advertising that's pointed at white people.
Well, they would sell me a lot more shit if they went Howlin' Wolf or Robert Johnson on that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Howlin', man, I was listening to the greatest hits on Howlin' Wolf the other day, man. You want to talk about some good shit?
Was it like 10 records or something?
No. It's just the one greatest hits record that he has Smokestack Lightning.
I figured it'd take like 10 hours.
Backdoor Man. Oh man, that is. I know everybody points to the Doors version of Backdoor Man, but you really need to go back and listen to the OG original because that's where it's at. That's a dirty song.
It's one of my favorite songs of all time, actually.
Yeah.
And he's more chicken than any man ever seen.
Yeah, and he wasn't talking about chicken. And it's funny, as I was listening to that the other day as I was working, I just kind of chuckled and said, "Yeah, he ain't talking about no chicken." I even said that out loud to nobody. There was nobody else on the job site. Yeah, he wasn't talking about no chicken. The little girls, they understand, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
They don't know, but they understand, right?
Yeah. The men don't know, but the women, they understand.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Backdoor Man. I used to do I can do a spot on rendition of Smokestack Lightning. I actually did it for Mr. Gipp years ago, and Mr. Gipp got up and gave me a standing ovation.
Well, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting news. Like the Love Boat.
Yeah.
You on this Love Boat shit tonight? Did you watch the Love Boat tonight?
Yeah, I watched it the other day. I couldn't help myself. I found
who was the guest actor in this one? Because they always had the guest appearance by some.
Oh, it was the dude. It was the dude from Fantasy Island, man. The one that goes the plane.
He was on Love Boat.
Tattoo was on Love Boat.
Those shows kind of remind me of each other too.
Oh, that was right after each other. First it was Love Boat, then it was Fantasy Island.
Oh wow,
that was a way to fuck with the audience.
And so you just got to watch like 2 hours of Tattoo.
Oh yeah, it was special. It was beyond belief.
Did either of y'all ever see the episode that Sonny Bono was on, and he wore makeup? He was like a Kiss clone.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
He was on a couple of them actually, though.
They actually had a. They also had a Chips that was like that. The guy that played Ralph Malph on Happy Days, Donnie Most.
Yeah, he was
actually played. He played some guy that they called him Moloch, and he was like he wore Kiss style makeup. It was their way of like kind of jumping on the Kiss thing while it was hot.
Was it a Satanic Panic episode?
Yes.
Too? Yes. He worshipped the devil.
He did.
Yeah.
His hit song was called "Devil Take Me."
Yeah, that sounds like something Donnie Most would have done.
Yeah, it does.
He had a pretty good sense of humor.
Damn, I needed less Paul.
Anybody watch LSU and Texas A&M yesterday? It was a pretty good game.
I watched like a minute and a half of it. I really wasn't that interested in it because, again, neither team is really playing for much of anything. It's been fun to watch Texas A&M without Jimbo Fisher pretty much still be the same exact Texas A&M team.
I think that's what's hurting. That's really what's hurting Jaden Daniels right now is, well, the fact that they played Texas A&M yesterday. Nobody gave a fuck about that game. Mm-hmm. He'll be sitting home next weekend while Bo Nix is on national television.
Yep.
Good.
So, I mean, that hurts.
Oh yeah, but he'll be
see Bo Nix will be playing against Michael Penix Jr. too, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so that's your kind of your Heisman, because Michael Penix is your is a lot of people's third. Some people's second, some people's third. Depends on what part of town you're from, I guess.
We're gonna have to ask Justin what his lock of the week is on that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. I'm gonna tune into that.
Clemson
I don't tune into a lot of West Coast games, but that one right there's got some right there's got some major potential.
Clemson and South Carolina yesterday looked like a 1980s college football game.
Yeah, it was.
Clemson won in a nail biter, 16-7.
Like one of those old LSU games, long before anybody had gave them any kind of national relevance. Who was that? Name one of the old Gary DiNardo or somebody like that. One of those teams, yeah. Like a game against Kentucky. Nobody's really got much offense to speak of. But what was it final in that game? Like 16-7 or some shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
You just nailed it.
Yeah.
That was Gene Stallings' first year. He beat Auburn 16-7. That was 1990.
Hell yeah.
But
still got to win.
Those games don't happen as much as they used to, but lately they're starting to creep back in. We're starting to see those kind of games. Like Utah beat Colorado 23-17 the other day.
What about Iowa? Iowa's been having games like it all year, man.
They are, and they win as long as they're not playing a really good team. And once they play a top 10 team, they lose. It's predictable every time. Can't score enough points to keep up.
Now, you brought Bujo up. A minute ago. Bujo's taking his Arkansas State. What are they? What is the Arkansas State?
The mascot? Red Wolves, I believe.
Okay, yeah. Do they have wolves in Arkansas?
They used to be the Indians, I think, and then the Indians weren't happy about that, and so they changed it to the Red Wolves.
Are you talking about the actual Indians, like people from India? Or are you talking about Native Americans?
No, I'm talking about the ones with the little red dot on their. Yes, they were very irritated.
Yeah. Y'all start talking that now. I'm hearing coyotes out here.
You got to watch those Hindus. They get angry, they'll get violent.
Yeah,
that's right.
I like Hindus. Their food's amazing. It'll make you poop though.
The truth is, I've never eaten in an Indian restaurant in my entire life.
Huh.
You're not a curry guy?
No, I do like curry.
If you like curry, you need to go check that Indian food out.
I didn't do one when I was young. I can't get Kat to go to one now, so
why not?
She don't like Indian food. She's actually eaten one. I have not.
Damn it, Jim.
Well, I need to kidnap you one day. We need to go. We need to go over to Silver Coin in Hoover. That's a good spot. Okay. Yeah. Because I don't know if they. I don't know if the one in Southside's still open, because they tore that. You remember the old Western? Yep. The old Western supermarket that was the 24. It was like the last 24-hour grocery store in Birmingham. Yeah, it's gone.
Now I do love Thai food, and I eat a lot of Thai.
I was going to say you should compromise and go Thai on that, so you can have a little.
Thai is delicious.
Now I've done Thai, so. And I'm in love with the coconut soup. Oh, that's some good shit.
What's your go-to for Thai food these days?
I hate going downtown, but I still like Surin.
Surin's good. One of my new favorites. There's been a couple spots open up in Hoover and Vestavia. I'll turn you on to off air.
Okay.
Yeah. A little bit more affordable and just as tasty. So
y'all ever heard of? Do y'all have Noodles and Company?
Noodles and Company?
Yeah, that's like from Indy down through Knoxville. There's a chain of them at the very least, right? And they got different international choices of your noodles, and then one of them is Thai, and they have the Thai curry and the soup that goes along with it, with the shrimp and stuff in it. It's fabulous.
No, we don't have a Noodle and Company, but we've got a really good selection of Thai and various different Asian flavored restaurants here in town. We've even got a Korean joint over in Homewood.
Oh, it's so welcoming. Special.
All right, so let's go ahead and do one more commercial. Let's go ahead and do one more commercial, and we'll come back and give our final thoughts.
Why not?
Hi, this is Kyle Golick, and I'm standing in the middle of SEC country over here, Big Ten country here. Where do I stand? SEC, Big Ten, SEC, Big Ten. You're listening to the Smacking Off the Podcast.
seasoning, food's favorite flavor.
Yum, yum, get you some.
I'm Joe Burrito, your favorite burrito. Whoa, whoa.
Joe, we
Hey.
all know you're the best.
What?
But you can always do better.
What you got?
Try the new Dano's Hot Chipotle.
Hey. Ooh, that's spicy. Yum, yum.
Yum, yum, get you some.
Talking burrito is so damn original, is it not?
Oh, special.
I'm thinking about leaving right after this episode and going and finding some Dano seasoning.
Hey, let me ask you.
Go ahead.
What about here's a game we left out that I find interesting because I have no love for Mac Jones. So it's not Mac Jones, the one that used to coach Texas, Mac Brown. So I just loved it all year long, all the North Carolina hype, and now they're unranked and lost to NC State.
They did. That happened.
So 59-20, I believe it's just an utter embarrassment. So cheaters never win, guys. So,
That is the definition of a blowout. I remember
Well, hold on now. Michigan just won.
That's true. Well, they ain't over with it. They can yank it. They can take it from them, right? They can
Do you
rip
think
it
that
from
Michigan has found a new way to steal signs?
Oh yeah.
The problem with it is there a body left that has the authority to really put Michigan in check?
The
they
FBI's
do. They just got to
it.
exercise it, right? And they got to show the NCAA.
See, if you're talking about the NCAA, they're scared to make a move because they've been sued the last few times they've ever tried to do anything, and rightfully so against Penn State. They went after Penn State like Penn State broke recruiting rules or some shit for the Sandusky thing, and that's really not their jurisdiction.
Right.
Yeah, that should have actually that was more of a criminal thing. And I really think that the people that were complicit in covering it up definitely should have been faced some kind of charge. And there was a lot of folks that did not receive any kind of charges or any kind of scrutiny whatsoever.
I think the NCAA figured this is so ugly that we're going to be able to do anything we want. And nobody's going to argue about it. Well, once they did it, the taxpayers in Pennsylvania started advocating, saying, "What the fuck? We're on the hook."
Then the lawmakers got involved because that is a state, state facility, state-run facility.
Right, and the taxpayers are like, "Why are we paying? Why? Because this is a state school, like you said. The taxpayers are on the hook for this outlandish amount that Penn State owes now."
Mm-hmm.
And the lawyers are like, "What the fuck? The NCAA has no jurisdiction to do any of this for this."
And the funny thing is a lot of people will look back on that whole debacle and they'll remember the penalties that Penn State got at the front end of it. And not too many people outside the state of Pennsylvania know about the fact that Pennsylvania successfully went to war with the NCAA.
That's really what crippled the NCAA. Penn State took them down, definitely several notches, and they haven't been the same since. And then, of course,
LSU's taken a couple swipes at them too recently.
A lot of the stuff that's happened has made it even harder on them, especially now that players can get paid. It's going to be really hard to bust anybody because all you got to do is just make sure you get all your ducks in a row.
Yeah,
there's ways to legally do it. There's no reason to do it under the fucking table anymore.
Cam Newton showed us there was always ways to legally do it. You just got to be able to read all the fine print. So they've closed up whatever loophole they could, and now NIL has just blown that wide the fuck open. So yeah, You're right. As long as they work in the correct manner and all the paperwork's there and everybody's the money's flowing where it's supposed to flow and not in, nefarious ways that it's not supposed to, which, until they really clamp down on and start to regulate how NIL takes place, with these teams, and you're still going to have a lot of, it's still going to be just the wild, wild west.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of money flowing, wonder what Jimbo's doing tonight.
Whatever the fuck he wants.
He's
probably doing a big, giant, huge, massive line of cocaine. You know why? Because he can afford it.
He can do it.
He gets enough every day to do cocaine and pay his bills, everything.
Yeah,
it all lines up for Jimbo.
Yeah,
it's probably a Mar-a-Lago.
Okay, so all right, so we got games going on coming up this week. Let me pull them up. I mean, we pretty much know what they are, but we might miss an important one if I don't pull them up.
That's true.
Something like New Mexico State at Liberty.
Oh,
which I guess is is that Conference USA?
Yes, and then you got Toledo and Miami of Ohio. Toledo's ranked; they're number 23.
Landon Beeman's graphic that he made, I shared it in College Football Trash Talk Nation. That is where it has Auburn and New Mexico State both going to the Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
I love that. I love that.
The only projection I've seen for Auburn so far, and I would really love to see what Landon come up with happen, but where I'm seeing them projected right now is the Duke's Mayo Bowl versus Duke.
Minus Mike Elko.
Now, Tulane and SMU's got a big game, and they're both ranked. I think that's going to be pretty entertaining.
SMU is not ranked according to this, but Tulane is 23.
According to what I have, NCAA football top 25, SMU's 25 and Tulane's 17.
Did they lose this week? Let's see. No, they're 10-2. So let me see what their record is. Okay.
And then you got Louisville and Florida State, which I believe Louisville will beat Florida State.
Yeah, and that will end any debate about whether Florida State belongs in the playoffs or not.
Because Louisville,
so I think we're all going to be pulling for Louisville next week.
Louisville is legitimate, but the reason they lost the game yesterday was special teams, and Kentucky was inspired on defense, and their all-world linebackers finally stepped up. I mean, guys, where you been all year? But anyway, they finally stepped up and played like they were expected to, and basically Louisville couldn't do nothing at the end.
Well, I mean, really, the game of the day definitely does. I guess it depends on what side of the coast you're on. It's either going to be Oregon, Washington, or Georgia, Alabama.
Oh yeah.
There's that you're going to have all eyes are on both of those games because the playoff committee is definitely watching those with the sound all the way up.
All right, so guys, maybe we should do something a little different this week. I'll go ahead and get the Live 10 prepared for Tuesday. We'll just run it like we've been running it, just a audio of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, just a clip showing the top 10. Do we? Is everybody prepared to come on Tuesday night? We could come on after the committee show.
Most likely,
that'd be great.
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot to talk about. It's going to be interesting to see. Are they going to start positioning? Are they going to start? See, Alabama's at 8. Alabama can stay at 8 because if they upset the number 1 team, they're going to jump to 4th. I know that. Yeah. But do they go ahead and move Alabama up a little bit?
Now the other part of that question though is that Texas if they win against Oklahoma State, which a lot of people expect that they should, there is the debate that Texas beat Alabama.
Okay, so I don't know if you've read my theories on this.
Mm-hmm.
I think Florida State's going to get left out. I really do. Okay. If Texas wins out and Alabama, they both went out, I think you're going to see Alabama at 4, and you're going to see Texas at 3.
And if Washington loses, the Pac-12 will be completely out of it, in my opinion.
No, because Oregon is still sitting at 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't believe they would move up out of that. I mean, by beating another Pac-12 team, and they got one loss.
But Washington is ranked in the top 4. I think all you're going to see happen if Oregon beats Washington is you're going to see Washington drop out of the top 4 and Oregon's going to take their place in the top 4.
Yeah,
that could happen. But
I think that's what will happen. I think Florida State's going to be the one that misses out if Alabama beats Georgia. If Georgia beats Alabama, FSU will get in at 4th probably.
Now, here's why I think Florida State's going to lose to Louisville from a tactical standpoint is now that their quarterback, that Travis, is out, they're very methodical, right? And when they were playing Florida, they were running all kinds of draws and traps and stuff like that and trying to get dudes broke loose against Florida's defense, and they just couldn't do it until they wore them down. So, therefore, I mean, Louisville's got a quarterback. I think they're going to beat Florida State. That's
going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to watch that one because FSU is the argument, I guess. I think if it came down to it, I really do think if Alabama upsets number 1 Georgia, I think that the committee goes in and says, fuck it, we're going to 12 teams next year. We don't give a fuck what you think. I think Alabama gets in over Texas because I think they're going to say Alabama has improved a lot in Texas.
Oh, man, the Texas fans are going to be
That would be true.
But I truthfully think if they both went out, I think FSU gets the shaft. And I think you're going to see Texas at 3, Alabama at 4. You're going to see Texas play. Let's see, Michigan will move to number 1 if Alabama beats Georgia.
Well, you got TV, man. TV, and the playoff committee is always thinking about what's going to be the sexier matchup, and what's sexier than an Alabama-Texas rematch that started the whole entire season off.
I don't think it'll be in the semifinal though. But here's what I think will happen: this is all if Alabama beats Georgia, and I'm not saying that they're going to, but this is the scenario we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And then Texas also beats Oklahoma State next week. I think Texas goes to 3rd, Bama 4th, Oregon, Washington winner will be 2nd, and Michigan will be 1st.
So Georgia's shut out then.
I think Georgia will be at 5th, and FSU probably 6th. But here's what I think will happen. I think you're going to see Alabama versus Michigan in the semifinal game, and we'll see Texas and Oregon or Texas and Washington in the semifinal game. But if Georgia wins, like most people believe they're going to, then you're probably going to see Georgia play FSU in the first round. And because I think if Alabama goes down to Georgia, I think they take Texas with them, because Texas's only claim to be able to get into this thing is having beaten Alabama and Tuscaloosa. If Alabama don't beat don't beat Georgia, it's not going to be that impressive of a win.
Now, you got to give Tommy Rees credit at Alabama in case nobody else is doing it. He was much maligned at Notre Dame, but he basically took Milroe from a guy they were going to bench to looking like Cam Newton by the end of the season. So my hat's off to Alabama and Nick Saban for bringing Tommy Rees on, and he's done a great job of Jalen Milroe. And Alabama and Jalen Milroe is the most improved team in the country since the first week.
True.
Anybody, y'all got anything else to add?
I think that's it. That should be a wrap.
All right, so Tuesday we're gonna talk about this committee show.
Let's do it.
All right, later.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for supporting Smacking Off the Podcast and College Football Dogs. And don't forget to stream in each Sunday evening for a live episode at 9 p.m. Eastern.